To talk about my mom.
Okay.
She passed away. It hurt. Like, anytime it's time to even get a sentence out, I'd be ready to cry.
Okay.
How do
Okay.
I? Yeah.
How many years since you lost your mom?
She passed in 2020.
2024 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You are one of how many siblings by your mother?
Two.
Just two of you by your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your other sibling is male or female?
Uh, on my dad's side.
Your mom, from your mother.
Oh, my mom. Oh, male.
Okay,
My
so
little brother.
okay, so
It's just
you're the
me and my little
oldest.
brother.
How many years apart?
10.
He's 10 years younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's 11. Right?
And how was your relationship with your mom?
We was really, really close.
Really, really close.
That's my best friend.
Okay. Now, first, let me explain this to you. When we lose people we love or care about, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a process of grieving. Okay? Stages of grief. The first stage of grief is shock. That's when you find out that you lost someone you love. You're shocked.
Mm-hmm.
You're overwhelmed. You can't respond. You are just in a state of complete confusion,
Mm-hmm.
right? Shock. Once the shock wears off, and that could take months or weeks. There's no timeline for none of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can go forward in these stages. You can go backwards in these stages.
Mm-hmm.
So first you shock. Then there is denial.
Mm-hmm.
Denial is when you say, no way, she's not going. There's no way my mother going. There's no way I lost my mom. You deny it. First you're shocked, and the first way to try to cope with it is to deny it, right? So first you're in shock. Then you deny.
Can you be in denial without? Can you be in denial without saying that sentence right there that you just said?
Yeah. Denial could take all kind of forms. Don't focus on the form, focus on the stage. So shock, denial. The third stage is bargaining. That's when you start talking to your loved one. You start talking to God. You start talking to yourself. You start talking to the ancestors. You start talking to people you love, and you say, I need her back. And I'm willing to do X, Y, and Z if you give her back. I'm willing to change my ways if you give her back. I'm willing to be a better son if you give her back. I'm willing to be more present if you give her back. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
That's the bargaining. Shock, denial, bargaining, and you can go back and forth, right? You can be at bargaining and end back up in shock. And then after shock, denial, bargaining is acceptance. Painful, right? Acceptance is when you say to yourself, this person that I love is never coming back again.
Mm-hmm.
Although we want you to get to acceptance, because it's so painful, a lot of people end up in depression in acceptance. They can end up becoming a marijuana addict when they get to acceptance. They can end up being an alcoholic or an overeater or an oversexer or an overshopper when they get to acceptance. And then the final stage, the fifth stage after acceptance, is resolution. That's when you can move on. You can finally accept this, assign it, an empowering place in your life, and you move on with your life. So first I want to say my condolences on you losing your mother. My second question to you is this. What do you do to remember or memorialize your mom?
Honestly, to remember my mom, I just stopped last year, but I used to like, it might sound kind of crazy, but I used to, when I'm by myself, I used to text her old number, and that would be like a way I would remember her. And then like, just pictures and stuff.
Well, let me share this with you. In African culture, and I practice Yoruba, spiritual culture out of Nigeria, right?
Mm-hmm.
In African culture, no matter what culture you belong to in Africa, we believe in our ancestors. Our ancestors are our angels. For African people, our ancestors are our angels. They are sent by God into our lives to help guide us to where we want to go, right? They protect you because your ancestors have a vested interest in you being successful. Follow me?
Mm-hmm.
So when they die, we don't really die. The body goes to the soil, spirit goes to heaven, checks in with God, it comes right back to look out for the family. Mm-hmm. Our ancestors are our guardian angels, right? So in African culture, we believe that we should venerate them, honor them, communicate with them. So one thing you might want to think about doing, and this is something I have in my home, it's an ancestral altar. It's a place where my ancestors can come and hang out whenever they want to visit me. You follow me?
Mm-hmm.
They don't have to say nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
This is their space in your home.
I love y'all too, chat.
Okay?